My name's Dr. Vanessa Lapointe. I'm a psychologist, parenting educator, and also a mom to 2 growing children. We are really struggling in today's day and age to figure out what this whole parenting thing is. When I was a child, my parents didn't even have a parenting culture around them. You just grew kids up, and it's what you did. But as science has come along and we've really figured out what it is that children need in order to grow in the best possible way, we know a lot more about healthy child development. And since we know a lot more, we also know that we need to step up and do better and be better for our children. As we consider what that involves and the kinds of things that our children need to marinate in order for childhood to play out in the best possible way, I want to share with you 2 key things to be thinking about. The first is that childhood is meant to be relationship-based, that there's nothing more important to healthy child development than the attachment relationship or the connection that the child has with their special big people. Their special big people are their moms and their dads for sure, but might also include grandmas and grandpas and aunts and uncles and classroom teachers and any big person who has a vested interest in the growing up of the child. When we consider what that relationship piece is all about and how we bring that to bear on healthy child development, you literally want to find that your children are immersed in an experience of connection from sunup to sundown and even whilst they are sleeping. That you set up their world in a way that they really feel like you're nurturing connection, that they wake up every morning to you and some form of connection with you, that they travel through their day knowing that you're not far away, even if you're, somewhere on a work trip or somewhere really away from your child, that they sense your connection and your presence is close at hand irregardless. That the way you discipline your children is full of connection rather than disconnection. That as your children turn into adolescence, you're really working to come alongside them and understand their experience and have them really be immersed in this idea of relationship. That it's not just about this sort of top-down directive kind of parenting style, but rather that we really understand, yes, we are in the lead as parents, but the way that we flow into that lead position really needs to be grounded in this idea of relationship and connection. Our children's brains need to marinate in that in order to grow in the best possible way. There's a second really big layer that we also need to be thinking about as parents, that as we grow our children, it really also demands that we are at the same time growing ourselves. You see, we all came through childhood with certain pieces of that wouldn't have gone as well as they maybe could have gone, and that's just a natural fact of life. It's part of the human condition. Those pieces that maybe didn't go as well as they could have gone will continue to live in us as adults until we take the time to do our own process work and bring those pieces up to the surface, to take that which is unconscious or subconscious and bring it up into the conscious realm so that we can understand all of these programs that were embedded into our biology and our psychology of self as we grew and how those programs might currently be operating in us as adults. We will, as we enter into parenting our own children, find that we are really triggered into the emergence of a lot of our programs. We might actually enter into parenthood really committed to this idea that we're going to do it better, that we're not going to repeat the challenges that we maybe experienced at the hands of our own parents in our own childhood. And then we find ourselves as parents saying and doing all of those things that we swore we would never say and do. The reason that happens is that you have programs under the surface that are running you from your own childhood. And until you take the time to look deep inside, to really understand what those programs are, why they exist, and to grow yourself up from the inside out, that you go back to those roots of your early childhood and actually walk yourself forward into your present day so that you are an actual adult walking around in an adult body rather than a child walking around in an adult body trying to grow up a child. When you blend together these 2 big things, the first, that childhood needs to be based on attachment and relationship, and the second, that as parents, we actually have work to do in order to grow our children up in the best possible way. What we arrive at is what we're calling conscious attachment parenting. And you will see as science moves forward and as we really continue to discover more and more about what makes the world go round for kids, that it's a conscious attachment approach to parenting that really is going to make development happen.